My child, stop for a moment. I know your thumb was about to scroll. I know your mind is busy, your heart tired, and your thoughts scattered in 1,000 directions. But I need you to hear this before you move on. I am here. I've been here. And yes, I've been watching. Not from a distance. Not with disappointment. But with the steady, patient love of a father who never takes his eyes off his child. Can we talk? I didn't bring this message to you by accident. This is not just another video in your feed. This is a moment I set aside for you. I've watched you smile when you were breaking inside. I've watched you keep going when you wanted to quit. I've watched you pray and then wonder if I was listening. And I want you to know something right now, before anything else settles into your heart. I never stopped seeing you. You've been asking questions you don't say out loud. You've been carrying conversations in your head that you wish you could have with me. And today, right now, I'm opening that door. I'm not asking for perfect words. I'm not asking for religion or performance. I'm asking for honesty. I'm asking for your heart. Because I'm here, and I'm watching, and I want to talk with you, not at you. Don't rush past this moment. There is something sacred happening in the pause. There is something healing in the stillness. I know you've been surrounded by noise, opinions, expectations, pressure, fear, but right now, it's just you and me. And I want you to stay. I want you to listen. I want you to lean in, because what I'm about to speak will only land in a heart that chooses not to run. If this message is reaching you, it's because I'm calling your attention back to me. And if you feel that quiet tug inside, don't ignore it. Respond to it. Even now, let this be a moment of agreement between us. Like the video as a sign that you're staying. Comment to say, God, I'm listening. Share this with 3 people who need to know they're not unseen. Type this message and subscribe, not for a channel, but for consistency in hearing my voice. These small actions are not about numbers. They are about alignment. They are about saying yes. I know you've wondered if I notice the little things. I do. I've watched the tears you wiped away before anyone could see. I've watched the strength you borrowed just to make it through the day. I've watched the faith you held onto by a thread. And I want you to know, I'm not watching to judge you. I'm watching to guide you. I'm watching because I care about where you're going next. So take a breath, my child. You're safe here. You're not interrupting me. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. I am here. I am watching. And yes, I want to talk. My child, I see you. Not the version you show the world, not the strong face you put on when others are watching, but the real you. The one who sits quietly with unanswered questions. The one who feels tired in places sleep can't reach. I see the weight you've been carrying, even when you told yourself it wasn't that heavy. I know the moments you brushed off as fine were anything but that. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I already know. I've watched you wrestle with doubt while still trying to believe. I've seen you hold on with one hand while the other was slipping. I've noticed the prayers you whispered quickly because you weren't sure they still mattered. And even in those moments, when you questioned yourself, when you questioned me, I never questioned my love for you. Not once. You've wondered if you were doing something wrong because things felt silent. You asked yourself if I passed you by, if I chose someone else, if you waited too long or missed your moment. My child, hear me clearly. Your season of waiting was never a season of being ignored. I was never distant. I was close enough to hear every sigh you didn't turn into words. I see the pressure you feel to have it all together. I know how hard you try to be strong for everyone else. I know how often you pour out without being poured back into. I know how loneliness can sit in a crowded room. And I know the quiet fear that asks, does anyone really understand me? I do. Completely. Fully. Without confusion. I've seen your heart when it wanted to give up but didn't. I've seen the love you still show even after being hurt. I've seen the obedience that cost you something. I've seen the tears you cried in secret because you didn't want to burden anyone. My child, none of it was wasted. None of it went unnoticed. Every moment mattered to me. You are not overlooked. You are not late. You are not less than. You are not forgotten in the middle of someone else's breakthrough. You are mine. Chosen, known, and deeply valued. I recognize your effort even when no one applauded it. I recognize your faith even when it felt small. I recognize your heart even when you struggled to recognize yourself. I know the season you're in feels confusing. I know it doesn't look the way you hoped. But I want you to understand this. You are exactly where I can reach you. Exactly where I can speak to you. Exactly where growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. I haven't lost track of you. I've been walking with you step by step. So let your shoulders drop. You don't have to strive to be seen by me. You already are. You don't have to earn my attention. You already have it. And as we keep talking, as you stay with me in this moment, I want you to let this truth settle deep in your heart. I know you, I see you, and I care about every part of your story. My child, I need you to hear this truth slowly, because you've carried a misunderstanding for too long. My silence was never my absence. I was never distant from you, not for a single moment. I did not turn away. I did not lose interest. I did not forget your name. I was watching with intention, not indifference. What felt like quiet to you was careful work in places you could not yet see. You thought that if I truly cared, things would have changed faster. You assumed that love always speaks loudly and moves quickly. But my love is deeper than urgency. Sometimes I remain quiet because I am protecting you from answers that would overwhelm you too soon. Sometimes I wait because I am strengthening your heart to hold what you've been asking for. Roots must grow in silence before fruit appears in public. You questioned yourself during the waiting. You wondered if you prayed wrong, believed wrong, or waited too long. You tried to fix what you thought was broken in you. But nothing about you was disqualified. I was never waiting for you to perform better. I was never measuring your worth by your consistency. I was watching for trust, not perfection. I was shaping you where no one else could see, because what I'm preparing requires depth, not speed. You assume my watching meant judgment. But I watched the way a father watches a child take uncertain steps, ready to catch you, patient with your pace, proud of your effort. I saw every time you almost gave up and didn't. I saw every prayer you whispered even when faith felt thin. I saw you grow stronger without realizing it. You were not delayed. You were being formed. And now I want to reveal something else to you, something that reaches beyond your own story. What I am doing in you is not meant to stop with you. I am speaking to you, yes, but I am also reaching through you. This is where your obedience becomes part of my work. When you help this message move forward, you become a sower in my field. I have spoken that when seed is released, harvest follows, and I speak that promise directly over you now. When you give to support this mission, through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are helping my word reach hearts that feel unseen just like you once did. You are lighting lamps in dark places. You are pouring oil where hope is running low. Hear my voice in this moment. This is my invitation to you. Act while your heart is open. Do not delay what I am stirring inside you. The PayPal donation link is waiting for you in the description, and the QR code is already before you. What you release in obedience, I will multiply in purpose. What you sow in faith, I will return in ways that reach far beyond money. Let your giving be a living prayer. Move with me now. My child, because I love you, I need to speak to you honestly. Not to wound you, but to free you. There are places in your heart where you've learned to cope instead of trust, to distract instead of listen, to survive instead of surrender. You didn't do this because you were rebellious. You did it because you were trying to protect yourself. But what once helped you survive is now keeping you from peace. You've been filling the quiet with noise. You reach for your phone, your plans, your own strength because stillness feels uncomfortable. Stillness forces you to feel what you've been avoiding. And I understand why you avoid it. But hear me. When you run from silence, you run from the very place where I speak most clearly. I'm not asking you to withdraw from life. I'm asking you to stop using noise as a hiding place. You've also been carrying control like a shield. You plan every step, prepare for every outcome, and rehearse every possible disappointment so you won't be caught off guard again. But control has become heavy in your hands. You weren't meant to carry tomorrow like that. When you try to manage everything, you leave little room for trust. And trust is where rest begins. There are times you've pulled back from me not because you didn't believe, but because you were afraid of what I might ask of you. Afraid I would touch the wound you buried. Afraid I would ask you to let go of something familiar. Afraid obedience would cost you comfort. My child, I never expose a wound to shame you. I expose it to heal you. I never take something without intending to replace it with something better. I need you to stop interpreting my correction as rejection. When I redirect you, it is because I see danger ahead that you cannot yet see. When I slow you down, it is because rushing would harm you. When I say no, it is not punishment. It is protection. I correct you because you are mine, and I refuse to leave you where you could be hurt. You've been waiting for me to move, but I've been waiting for you to release what I already asked you to lay down. A habit you justify, a thought pattern you revisit, that relationship you keep reopening. I am not angry with you, but I am calling you higher. Peace cannot grow in soil where compromise is allowed to stay. Let me be clear without being harsh. You don't need another sign. You need obedience. You don't need more information. You need alignment. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am asking you to be willing. Willing to trust me even when you don't understand the outcome. Willing to follow even when it stretches you. I am not disappointed in you. I am inviting you forward. Correction is not distance. It is closeness. It is my hand on your shoulder saying, "This way, my child. I have something better for you. My child, come closer and let me lift what you've been carrying." I know the correction stirred emotions in you, but hear me now with the same clarity. You are not weak because you've struggled. You are strong because you're still here, still listening, still choosing not to turn away. Strength is not the absence of weariness. Strength is continuing to trust me even when your knees feel tired. You've been harder on yourself than I have ever been. You replay moments, choices, and conversations, wondering if you delayed your future or disappointed me. I need you to release that weight. I do not measure you by your missteps. I measure you by your heart. And your heart has remained tender toward me, even when it felt bruised. It matters more than you know. I want you to understand this deeply. You are not walking alone. Even in moments when you felt abandoned, I was beside you, steadying your steps. When you thought you were barely holding on, I was holding you. When you felt empty, I was sustaining you in ways you couldn't yet recognize. You didn't collapse because I was carrying what you couldn't. You may feel like progress has been slow, but growth is happening in you. I am strengthening your discernment. I am softening places that became guarded. I am teaching you how to rest without guilt and how to trust without fear. These are not small things. These are foundations. And foundations take time because they are meant to last. I know there are days when your faith feels quiet, when confidence wavers, when courage feels borrowed instead of natural. On those days, lean into me instead of away from me. Let me be your strength when yours feels insufficient. Let me be your peace when your thoughts feel restless. You don't need to summon what you don't have. I supply what you lack. You are not behind in life. You are not missing out on what I have for you. I am not rushing you because I am not anxious. I am patient because I am faithful. What I am building in you cannot be rushed, because it is meant to support more than you realize. Others will find shelter in the strength I am forming within you. I see the courage it took for you to keep believing after disappointment. I see the humility it took to keep listening after confusion. I see the resilience it took to keep hoping when answers didn't come quickly. And I want you to know, I am proud of you. Not because you did everything right, but because you kept your heart open. So take heart, my child. You are being strengthened from the inside out. You are becoming steadier, wiser, and more anchored in me. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to rush the process. You only need to stay close. I am with you, and I will continue to give you the strength you need, exactly when you need it. My child, now I want you to rest in what I am about to promise you. Not a promise built on emotion, not a promise dependent on circumstances, but a promise rooted in who I am. I do not speak lightly. When I give my word, I stand behind it completely. And I want you to know this with certainty. I will not abandon what I started in you. I know you've been afraid that time has worked against you, that opportunities passed while you were waiting, that delays somehow disqualified you. But hear me clearly, nothing entrusted to me is ever wasted. What looks delayed to you has been protected by me. I have not been idle while you waited. I have been aligning things you cannot yet see. I promise you this, when you walk with me, no step is empty. Even the slow steps matter. Even the uncertain steps count. Even the days that felt unproductive were shaping your discernment and deepening your trust. I am not only concerned with where you are going, I am invested in who you are becoming along the way. There will be moments ahead where you will recognize why I asked you to wait. You will see how restraint saved you. You will understand how unanswered prayers redirected you. And when that clarity comes, it will not bring regret. It will bring gratitude. Because you will realize I was faithful even when you didn't understand me. I promise to guide you, not confuse you. When you listen for me, I will make the next step clear enough to take. I may not reveal the whole path at once, but I will always give you enough light for obedience. Trust grows when you move with what you have, not when you demand what you don't. I promise to strengthen you when obedience feels costly. I will not ask you to let go without also giving you grace to endure the release. I will not lead you into uncertainty without anchoring you in my presence. When you feel stretched, remember this: you are not being torn. You are being expanded. I promise to be gentle with your growth. I know where you are tender. I know where fear still whispers. I know where confidence is still forming. I will not rush you past healing. I will not shame you for needing time. I work patiently because I love deeply. And I promise you this most of all. I am with you, not watching from afar, not checking in occasionally, but walking beside you. In decisions, in quiet mornings, in restless nights, in moments of joy and moments of doubt. My presence is not conditional on your perfection. It is constant because you are mine. So trust me, my child. Trust my timing even when it challenges you. Trust my direction even when it stretches you. Trust my heart even when you don't yet see my hand. I am faithful. I always have been. And I will continue to be, all the way through what's ahead. My child, now it is time to respond, not with noise, not with effort, but with your heart. This is the moment where listening becomes living, where hearing becomes trust. You've received truth, correction, strength, and promise. Now I ask you to step toward me, not perfectly, but willingly. This is not about doing something impressive. This is about choosing connection. I want you to pause right where you are. Let the rush slow down. Let your shoulders relax. You don't need to have the right words prepared. You don't need to explain everything clearly. I am not waiting for a speech. I am waiting for your honesty. Even if all you can offer me is a breath and a quiet, here I am, that is enough. Open your heart to me in this moment. Bring me what you've been holding back, the fear you didn't want to name, the desire you didn't want to admit, the question you were afraid to ask. You don't shock me. You don't disappoint me by being real. I already know what's there. I'm inviting you to trust me with it. Choose to place your faith into action now. That may look like releasing control you've been gripping too tightly. It may look like forgiving someone you've kept at a distance. It may look like obeying a nudge you've been delaying. Faith is not always loud. Often, it's a quiet yes whispered in the heart. Let that yes rise up now. I want you to speak to me as you would speak to a father who loves you. Tell me where you're tired. Tell me where you need courage. Tell me where you want to trust but still feel afraid. I am not rushing you through this moment. I am present in it with you. Prayer is not performance. It is relationship. As you choose to trust me, something begins to shift inside you. Not always in circumstances, but in alignment. Peace starts to replace striving. Clarity begins to follow surrender. Strength rises where fear once lived. This is the power of activation, not because you did something big, but because you opened the door. I am asking you now to walk with me beyond this moment. Don't leave what I've spoken here. Carry it with you. Let it influence your decisions, your reactions, your expectations. When doubt tries to speak louder later, remember this moment. Remember that you chose to trust me here. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to stay connected to me as it does. I will guide you step by step. I will remind you when you forget. I will steady you when you feel unsure. You are not activating faith alone. I am meeting you in it. So come, my child. Place your hand in mine. Choose trust over fear. Choose obedience over delay. Choose relationship over distance. This is the moment where your heart says yes, and I am right here to walk with you into what comes next. My child, let everything settle now. You don't need to strive anymore. You don't need to question whether this moment was real. It was. I brought you here on purpose. I spoke to you because I wanted you to know the truth clearly. I am here, I am watching, and you are not alone. This conversation was never about information. It was about connection, and connection has been restored. Take a breath and let peace move through you. Not the kind of peace that depends on circumstances changing overnight, but the kind that anchors your heart even when life is still unfolding. You don't have to leave this moment anxious about what comes next. I will walk you into it, one step at a time, one day at a time. You are safe in my hands. Remember what you've heard. You are seen. You are known. You are loved without condition. My watching over you is not pressure. It is protection. My correction was not rejection. It was guidance. My promises are not fragile. They are sure. When you feel unsure later, return to this truth. I am still here. I am still watching. And I still want to talk with you. And now, my child, hear me as I speak to your obedience one more time. What I am doing through this message is bigger than one moment. Souls are being reached. Hearts are being awakened. Light is breaking into places of quiet despair. And I have chosen to let you be part of that work. This is my command to you now. Respond. Let what you've received flow outward. Support this mission boldly through super thanks or membership. Release your seed through PayPal, using the link in the description or the QR code on your screen. When you give, you are not losing anything. You are sowing into living soil. You are helping my word reach the ones who feel unseen, unheard, and forgotten. I declare this over you. What you release in faith, I will return in peace, provision, and purpose. I will bless your obedience. I will multiply your seed. I will open doors you could not force open on your own. Do not hesitate. Move while your heart is aligned with mine. This is holy ground, and obedience here matters. And now, as we close, let this be your response of agreement. Like this video as a sign that you received what I spoke. Comment and say, God, I hear you. Share this with 3 people who need to know I am watching over them too. Subscribe and hype this message so my voice continues to reach those I am calling. Rest now, my child. Carry peace with you. Walk forward knowing I go before you and remain beside you. This conversation does not end here. I am always near. I am always watching. And whenever you are ready, we can talk again.